Hey everyone, welcome to Day Deal on Display, daydeal.com's own YouTube channel regarding product previews, reviews, and demonstrations. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Trident Aegis case for the Blackberry Torch 9800. Now you're more than welcome to check this case out at its official website at any time, and that's going to be located at www.tridentcase.com. Now, it's been a long time since I've talked to you Blackberry owners out there, so nice to see you again. I know the industry hasn't been very kind to you as of the last couple of months or even the past year, but hey, moving forward, let's go and talk about some stuff that is coming out for the Torch right now. Now, as far as we can tell, the Trident Aegis may be the only product series that the company is going to release for the Torch 9800, so keep that in mind, but it is a pretty good cover. I think the only other case that came out for the Torch 9800 that we were really kind of won over with was the AGF Beetle cover, I believe, off the top of my head. I believe the commuter case from OtterBox actually had some fitting problems on the phone, and a lot of people kind of avoided it or just basically stated their opinions about it on OtterBox's official website. I'm not sure if it's been fixed since then, but nonetheless, you know, it's always good to see new accessories for any phone out there, and the Torch is included. Now, we are going to be reviewing the black version of the Aegis today. It's not the most exciting color, I know, but we do also know from experience that many Blackberry owners out there are a little bit more business orientated, and of course black is the go-to color. However, if you're feeling a little bit more fun, there are other colors that the Aegis is available in that you see right there. And those colors are going to be ballistic green, red, blue, pink, and of course the black that we are going to be showcasing today for you. So you're more than welcome to check those out at the official website tridentcase.com or on our own website at www.daydeal.com when we have them up and available. Now, the Aegis case is a hybrid cover. I guess that's the best way you can describe it. It's basically a hard case and a soft case put together. Now, the funny thing about the Aegis product series is that it always changes from phone to phone. On some phones or devices, it's actually a light-duty case, meaning it's very thin and it barely protects the phone. On other devices and phones, respectively, it's a heavy-duty cover. It's like the biggest thing you've ever seen in the world. You can literally go and bounce it off a wall, run it all over with a car, and it'll protect it. So it's a very unusual product series. We think Trident is still in its experimental phase, so to speak, with the Aegis, but we're starting to see a little bit more consistency with it, so keep that in mind. Visit tridentcase.com if you haven't done so already. They have some excellent cases for a variety of phones and devices out there, so not even just for the Blackberry, but just for other phones and things like that, so we highly encourage you to do so. Popping off that package, because it is that easy. If you don't do that in real life, then you're not opening your packages correctly. I'm going to go and show you the ins and outs of the Aegis itself, starting with the screen protector kit right here. So the Aegis does come with its own screen protector. That's always welcome. It makes the case a little bit more complete. And as you can see right here, nothing out of the ordinary. You get a microfiber cleaning cloth. This is going to help keep things nice and tidy, pre and post screen protector installation. And this is the actual star of the show of this kit. This is the screen protector for your Torch 9800 in all of its glory. There you go. An applicator card to help you air out those bubbles during screen protector installation. You saw this at the beginning of the video, so no surprises here. And on the back, you actually even have the physical address of the company right there. So there you go. And of course, an instruction manual to show you how to properly install things, the screen protector as well as the Aegis case itself on the Torch 9800. And that is it for the internal kits. Putting that to the side, we're going to go and talk about the more physical components of the Aegis itself. Now, usually the Aegis comes in two pieces, but because the Torch obviously is a slider phone, it has to come with three. You have this top kind of wireframe hard plastic piece that goes over the top of the phone respectively. I actually have one already pre-installed on our display version of the Torch 9800, so I'm going to show you in that just a moment, but this is where that would go over, so self-explanatory stuff. Not the thickest piece in the world, but not the thinnest one either. We've seen worse, especially for the Torch 9800. If you've already picked up a generic case for the phone, you know how awful those can be. They are very thin. This one's actually a little bit more durable. It actually holds its shape pretty well and doesn't actually bend or contort that easily, so that's always a good thing. Now, moving on to the bottom piece, if you will, or the bottom portion of the phone, there are two pieces that will protect that. You first have this thin silicone skin layer. I wouldn't call it a full-blown skin because it does require this to snap onto the phone properly and keep it in place. But it is what it is, and it does have dust covers for all the buttons and ports. So I'll just go and show you that in just a moment right now on the finished phone. Covering that is this hardened shell right here, and this is what makes the Trident Aegis look like it is. Okay, that's kind of an obvious statement. Basically, it's what makes Aegis more signature from its brethren, the Cyclops or the Kraken. Now, unfortunately, the Cyclops and the Kraken isn't available for the Torch 9800 as of yet, but we're hoping to see those product series from Trident be released. But here it is. This is basically just a hardened polycarbonate frame. It's going to go and wrap around the skin, give it some extra structural integrity, and help protect your phone just a little bit more. So with the ins and outs of it shown, I have it installed now. Well, I already pre-installed it to make life a lot easier for you guys as well. Let's go and talk about the case and give you a 360 tour, starting with the front area, or the front screen I should say. Now the lip that is created from the Aegis is actually quite thick, and that is thanks to the top piece. After all, it is a little bit thick on the phone, so that's going to keep your screen nice and protected. So for whatever reason you happen to rest your phone on its face like such, it should be a-okay. It's going to be up and away from the surface, and more importantly, remember the screen protector kit that came with it. You can always go ahead and apply that on carefully, of course, and that's going to add some extra protection for your screen. So you should be in relatively good hands with the Aegis case and your Torch 9800 as far as the screen area goes, even from drops. Moving on to the top, you have two coverings, one for the lock and power button, as well as one for the mute button as well, right there, as you can see, and it is very easy to press. Moving on to the side, you have a dust cover for the USB port. Not my favorite dust cover in the world. This is a very old school design. It has that little thin hinge right there and has this male tip on it that's not even custom made for the USB port. It's just like a little square peg. So you really have to press it in there to make sure it fits into the USB port, and actually is a little bit loose, unfortunately, but it is what it is. There you go. It still is a covering for the USB port, and that is very important. Moving on to the other side, which is of course the busy side of the Torch 9800, you have a dust cover for the audio jack, or headset jack, where you like to refer to it as. There you go. That one also has a dust cover, also an archaic design, but this one works a little bit better. You have a covering for the volume up and down button, easy to press, as well as a covering for the camera button, or the convenience button, I believe it's called on the Blackberry phone. And there you go. Now, slide operation of the phone is not hindered in any way, so I'm going to go and show you that right now. The phone still slides out very easily with the Aegis installed. I've always been a screen slider myself. I don't know why. That's like really bad of me, but there you go. I always do this whenever I have a slider phone, but it slides out just as easy. As you can see right here, the case does not actually grind out up against the phone or anything unusual like that. Nothing out of the ordinary. And on the bottom, forgive me, I do not know what the opening of that for. That could be the microphone, that could be the built-in speaker on the Torch 9800. Forgive me, it's been a really long time, but there's an opening for something right there. There you are, in the flesh. Now moving on to the back. Just going to give you a quick look on the rear of the Aegis. No surprises right there. You have an opening for the camera lens, LED flash, even a little for the logo. Maybe that's the built-in speaker. I'm not too sure, but that's how it appears to be. And that's it for the Trident Aegis case for the 9800, folks. Now remember that it comes in different colors, so if black's just a little bit too boring for you, you can go and check out the other shades. And once again, that's going to be in ballistic green, red, blue, and pink. And if there's any criticisms we have of the Trident Aegis, it's hard for us to kind of openly admit them, because the Torch 9800 right now, folks, doesn't really have that much stuff out for it. It's just the way the world is right now. So we don't want to discourage people from not checking out the Trident Aegis. If anything, if you have to be hypercritical and maybe you're already sitting on top of a pile of accessories for your phone and you just want to add something else to it, but you want to know if it's worth it or not, as with all cases for the Torch 9800, it does add a good share of bulk to the phone, meaning that it does make it quite thicker, as you can see right here. So if you like the slim and sleek design of the Torch 9800, the Aegis may not be for you. And for people more on the aesthetic side, the corners on the Aegis itself, basically where the silicone skin is exposed, is an absolute dust magnet, and especially on a black case, you will notice this quite a bit. It's already starting to gray out thanks to all the dust that's being collected. So please keep that in mind. You're going to have to go ahead and wipe this down from time to time to make sure it's nice and clean, nice as pristine looking as possible. Otherwise, you're just going to have black with literally gray, and all that gray is from dust particles in the air and, of course, from human contact. So there you go. That is it. I'm out of breath. Check out the Trident Aegis on its official website at www.tridentcase.com. Check out all the other stuff they have for other phones out there as well. Really cool stuff. Great guys. And you should walk away happy. Show us some love over on our own website, www.daydeal.com, where we don't give up on Blackberry, folks, okay? And keep following us on our YouTube channel, Daydeal on Display, for more product previews, reviews, and demonstrations. Thanks, as always, for watching.